We're going to do a quick mini review on the Constitution of the United States. So we'll take a look at the things that we have learned so far in our unit. The first thing is that the first Constitution of the United States was called the Articles of Confederation. In this Constitution, the states had a lot of power. In fact, they had too much power, and the federal government had too little power. In the short period of time that it was in place, the nation ran up a huge debt and there was no way to raise money. So by 1787, the nation was kind of in crisis. The leaders of the nation called for a constitutional convention, and that happened in late summer of 1787 and through the fall. The delegates came to the city of Philadelphia. Pictured here is Independence Hall. This is the old State House. The delegates met there to conduct their meetings and to work on writing the nation's new Constitution. These are some of the important delegates that were at the Constitutional Convention. On the left is George Washington. He was the president of the Constitutional Convention. He didn't contribute a lot of ideas, but it was important for him to be there because he was a very respected person in the United States. He had helped the country win its independence in the American Revolution. The person on the right is James Madison. He was a close friend of Thomas Jefferson, and history calls him the father of the Constitution. This is because he contributed many of the ideas to the Constitution, and he was also a careful note taker. The meetings of the Constitutional Convention were kept secret because the delegates didn't want the states to know that they were disobeying their orders. They decided they had to write a new constitution instead of fixing the Articles of Confederation. When it was all said and done, the Constitution is divided into articles. The preamble starts it off, then comes the articles, and at the end are the amendments. Amendments are changes that have been made to the Constitution. Article 1 is about the legislative branch, and the legislative branch is divided into two houses of Congress. They are the House of Representatives and the Senate. The House of Representatives is sometimes called the lower house. Representation here is based on a state's population. Minnesota has 8 members in the House of Representatives. States like California, Texas, Pennsylvania, Florida have many more delegates or many more representatives because they have much larger populations. The number of total members in the House of Representatives is 435, and they serve 2-year terms. The other house of Congress is called the Senate. Each state has 2 senators, and there are currently 100 members of the Senate because we have 50 states. This number would go up if we added more states. A senator's term is 6 years. These are the main powers of Congress. The first is that they write the nation's laws. These are called bills, and a bill becomes a law when both houses of Congress pass it and then the president signs it. Another main power of Congress is to declare war. Congress spends a great deal of its time deciding how we're going to spend the nation's money and how corporations and people will be taxed to pay for government services. Another job of Congress is to coin and borrow money. Congress also regulates business. The final power of Congress that I have listed here is impeachment. Impeachment hasn't happened very often. Impeachment is removing a president from office. Article 2 in the Constitution is about the executive branch, and the executive branch is all about the president. Here you have a picture of the White House. This is where the president both lives and works. His family also lives there too. The president's main job is to carry out or enforce the nation's laws. Some of the things that go with the presidency is that they have to be at least 35 years old. The president must also be a natural born citizen. Their term of office is 4 years, and they can serve two terms. The person on the right is President Franklin Roosevelt. He was president during the 1930s and the 1940s. This is during the Great Depression and World War II. He's our only president who has served more than 2 terms. All other presidents followed George Washington's example and served 2 terms if they were reelected and then retired after that. Roosevelt served 4 terms, or he was elected to 4 terms, and then in the years after he left office, the Constitution was changed so that a president was limited to 2 terms in office. The president has a lot of jobs. First of all, he is the head of the U.S. government, so at the White House each day he conducts the affairs of business for America. He is the commander-in-chief of our military. That means he is responsible for defending the country. He also suggests laws and spending to Congress. Congress can accept these suggestions or they can ignore them. He has an important power to make appointments to high federal offices, such as the Supreme Court and other judges. He is also the chief diplomat, so the President of the United States conducts our affairs with foreign countries. So this is what we've learned about the Constitution so far. We'll do a quick mini review as we learn more information.